But let's take a quick look at some of the ways that you can apply universal design to your teaching and material creation. When dealing with text, screen reading technology is incredibly powerful, but there are limitations to what it can comprehend. In order to deliver useful resources to all of your students, it's helpful to be aware of the best practices for text-based documents. It may seem useful to deliver a PDF that can't be edited or erased, but it's actually better to give your students an accessible Word document. If a PDF or ebook that you have isn't formatted properly before being converted, images, headings, and lists may be difficult to navigate by students using a screen reader. If you're unsure of how accessible a document is, you can run the accessibility test in Acrobat Pro, which we have available in the CTMI faculty lab. Additionally, you can use VoiceOver on your Mac to see how well it's read. If your document doesn't actually test well, it's best to just create a brand new and updated version of the document rather than attempting to take a pre-existing book or PDF that's out of date and make it accessible. For more information on creating accessible documents, check out our video on accessible text documents. Using videos as a course material is a great way to supplement your in-class lessons. There are two main factors you should consider when making video content. Does the audio convey the entire meaning of the video without the use of the visuals? Is it accurately captioned? Sites like YouTube now have built-in captioning functionality that will allow you to manually enter your captions or have YouTube automatically attempt to interpret your speech for you. Additionally, there are sites devoted to video capturing like amara.org that offer added functionality. When working with audio and digital audio workstations, it's important to check with your students to see what applications they're able to use easily and provide accessible materials and examples based on that. For example, Pro Tools may be fully accessible for a visually impaired student, but Logic Pro may not be usable at all. If you only provide example files in the Logic format, some of your students may have difficulty following along. As we mentioned in the earlier universal design videos, it's better to just make individual tracks or key settings available to your students so that they may apply them to whatever software they're able to use, rather than assuming they have access to a certain plugin or application. Notation is similar to text in several ways. Giving out only printed scores versus digital ones will make it difficult for any visually impaired students to follow along in class, and likewise, there are certain file formats that work best. In order to ensure that all of your students are able to follow along with musical examples, consider playing the piece on piano in class, or provide the students with a music XML file so that they can import it into their accessible music notation software. While Finale is in use at most of the college, it may not be accessible by some of your students, and they might need to use a different application like Sibelius in order to utilize your class resources.